Let's pick up some of these points with Bradley Bowman, who's Senior Director of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracy's Center on Military and Political Power. That's where he focuses on US defense strategy and policy. Welcome back to DW, Bradley. There's been a lot of toing and froing on this issue of US weapons, especially in the last couple of weeks. Would these promised Patriot systems be in addition to what the US had previously promised, or would they be plugging gaps that expanded since this White House changed its mind about supplying Ukraine?
Thanks for the question. The current deal, as it's currently understood, and some of the details remain unclear, these would be additional Patriot systems and additional interceptors that the Patriots use to shoot down a number of things, including Russian ballistic missiles. So these systems could come from Europeans who currently field the Patriot systems, or they could come from the United States. Either way, it would be American-produced Patriots funded by Europeans sent to Ukraine.
Okay. So between the Patriots' defensive capabilities and the offensive capacity of the missiles and ammunition that Donald Trump talked about, how much difference is this likely to make to Ukraine's ability to fight off Russia's invasion?
This is one of the most significant needs of Ukraine as Putin continues his brutal, unprovoked assault on Ukraine and Ukrainian men, women, and children. This is at the top of the list for Zelensky. This will help, but it's not a panacea. It's going to reduce the effectiveness of some Russian attacks. It's going to save many Ukrainian lives. And it's going to underscore to Putin in Beijing that America is not neutral in the face of unprovoked authoritarian aggression. So it'll have many benefits, it'll save lives, and it'll increase, frankly, Trump's leverage in dealing with Putin. We'll see if it's enough leverage to get Vladimir Putin to finally negotiate in good faith. I'm not holding my breath, but I think it's a positive step in the right direction.
And we have this Financial Times report that Donald Trump asked Vladimir Zelensky whether he could strike Moscow if the US provided long-range missiles. Why do you think he asked that?
You know, I don't know. I don't have a degree in psychology. I've stopped guessing what's going on in Donald Trump's mind. But the larger issue here is we can't just send Patriots and Patriot interceptors. We have to resume a full comprehensive security assistance campaign to Ukraine, working with our allies. And it has to include not just defensive air and missile defense systems, but offensive weapons like we've delivered in the past, like the ATACMS, for example, the Army Tactical Missile System. Because if you simply are on defensive, sooner or later those defenses fail. You have to be able to target the invading Russian forces and where those Russian forces are massing themselves on the border of Ukraine. And so, if we purely play defense, military history tells us those defenses fail. So it has to be both an offensive and defensive component. We can debate about what those strikes should be in Russia, how deep they should be, the nature of those targets. But there has to be an offensive component, as there has been in the past. And I'm hoping that these decisions that Donald Trump has made will stick and will result in an expanded campaign that includes not just offensive and defensive weapons, but secondary sanctions as well.
Okay. Thank you for talking us through that. Bradley Bowman from the Foundation for Defense of Democracies.